Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. My name is Rebecca, and if you're new here, I post videos all about luxury, beauty, lifestyle. So if you're into that kind of content, then definitely hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future videos. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you what all I took with me on vacation in my Toiletry 25 from Louis Vuitton. This is all of the makeup I brought with me. And I'm also going to be giving you a little mini review on this bag, since now that I have used it, I kind of do have some thoughts on it. So if you want to see what I brought and hear my thoughts on this piece, then just keep on watching. So recently I did go to Zion National Park and Las Vegas, and this was the makeup that I took with me. Now I would consider the makeup that I brought to be pretty much like my essentials. Like if I were to lose my whole makeup collection, these are the items that I could pretty much get away with just having. Like I said, it's just pretty much my essentials. When I go on vacation, I like to bring things that I know I love and I know work for me, because I don't want to be fussing when, I'm getting ready when I'm on vacation, since the whole point is to try to be maximizing my time wherever I'm at. I don't want to be messing around with makeup. So I'm going to take you through everything I brought, and then we'll go ahead and jump into my mini review on this piece. Now mind you, this is the first trip that I've taken this on, so my thoughts could change down the road if I travel with it a few more times, but I do have some thoughts on it, so definitely stay tuned for that. Alright, so let's just jump right in. We're gonna just pull things out in no particular order. We'll start with the two palettes that I brought, and I did bring the Tartlet in Bloom and the regular Tartlet palette. This one is all matte and this one does have some shimmers in it. However, I pretty much just use the matte shades out of this one and I supplement with a different shimmer, but this is hands down my favorite palette right now. I pretty much use it every single time I do my makeup. I use this one today along with a Natasha Denona shimmer, but the mattes in these are just phenomenal. I just can't even explain it. They just work so well. So if you're interested in just a really tried and true palette, then these two are definitely awesome. Then I also brought my Jaclyn Cosmetics Blushing and Bronze Duo. I honestly really do love this. The blush is really pretty, and so is the bronzer. I'm wearing both today, and I just think they look really stunning. I know Jaclyn is actually going to be releasing some other blushes coming up, but I don't think I'll purchase them now just because I don't really use blush a whole lot, and I already do have this blush. I have two other blushes in my collection, so I don't think I really need them right now, but I will say they're like the stick to powder blushes. Those definitely intrigued me, and I think I would definitely want to try one of those out in the future, but I really do love this. The only complaint I have about it is the packaging is so thick. I mean, if you compare it to this, the palette, look how much thicker it is. So it does take up a lot of space, and I honestly debated even bringing this, but I really do love it, so I really wanted to have it with me. Next, I ended up bringing the Jaclyn Cosmetics. This is from her mystery box. It is one of the highlights. I do like this highlighter. However, in a perfect world, I would have brought my Accent Light highlighter palette, because that is hands down my favorite highlighter, the one I reach for all the time. But because this takes up so much space and I needed room for other things, I opted just to bring this one, which even this packaging is pretty thick in my opinion. So I wish you would kind of slim down the packaging on some of these items just for the sake of travel and even storage. If you're somebody that doesn't have a whole bunch of drawers that you can keep makeup in, then these are going to take up a lot of room. So I kind of wish you would maybe tone down the packaging just a little bit, but I do think it is beautiful. I mean, especially this. It is stunning packaging. Okay, and then I brought my Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Powder. I like this one a lot compared to my Giorgio Armani, which I also love, but I like this one for when I really don't want to wear any foundation. I feel like this does provide a decent amount of coverage. For instance, today I just put on some concealer in my problem areas, and then I went in with this, and I feel like my face really does look like I'm probably wearing at least a little bit of foundation, and I'm not. So I really do like this. The only thing I have to say is that if you go too heavy, it is going to look a little bit powdery, so just keep that in mind, but this so far, I really do love it. Then we have, of course, my tried and true Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know, about makeup, I pretty much use this every single time. This is my second jar of it. It lasts forever, especially for me because I don't wear makeup every single day. But this just helps to keep my makeup from looking cakey. It really adds some hydration to the skin, which I found is key in keeping your makeup from looking cakey. Then we have this mini Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, which if you watched my first video on this piece, well, my second video, my what fits, I showed you a bunch of different ways that you can pack this bag, so I will go ahead and throw that up in the cards and down below in case you want to see that, because I did show you a variety of different palette sizes. I showed it with toiletries, I showed it with makeup brushes inside, I showed a bunch of different options, so I think that is going to be really helpful if you're wondering if something fits. And I will say the full size of this did fit in one of the ways that I packed this, but because I did want to be able to save a little bit of space, I just went ahead and bought the mini version because it's smaller, so it just made more sense. And since I love this product, it doesn't hurt to have it in a mini size as well. Then we have my Giorgio Armani powder, which is pretty much almost gone. I actually didn't even really use this one on my trip. I mainly used the Makeup Forever because I really didn't wear foundation at all. And like I said, the Makeup Forever does have a little bit more coverage than this one, but I couldn't leave this one behind because I really do love this one too. And I wasn't sure which days I might want to wear foundation, so I needed to have this with me just in case. Then we have three other mini palettes, which this is what I was mentioning on how I supplement with other shimmers if I use those Tartlet palettes, but I could also use these on their own as well. So I brought 3 Natasha Denona minis. I brought the mini nude, which I'm wearing one of the shimmers on my eyes today. I brought the mini star, and I also brought the mini gold. These are really handy and they're pretty small, so they don't take up much space. Like I said, I brought 3 of them and they pretty much didn't even take up the space of they probably took up like the space of one palette. So these are really handy to have, and her shimmers are amazing. We're coming down to the end here. Then the one foundation I did bring is my favorite at the moment, and it is the Huda Beauty Stick Foundation. I really like how you can kind of build the coverage to however you need it. So sometimes you can keep it lighter, and put it in just certain areas, or you can build it up if you do prefer that heavier coverage, which I usually don't, but I really, really do love this, and pretty much the only foundation I use at this point when I do wear foundation. Then I brought my Stila liquid liner. I actually didn't even really use this either, but it's always good to have a liquid liner, and this is the only one I own. I like it a lot, so I have multiples. Then I also brought my Urban Decay 24/7 pencil, my Rare Beauty double-ended brow product, so it has the pencil on one end and the brow gel on the other. This is really handy because this is 2 products in one, which I love. Then I brought this Hourglass single shadow in the shade Vivid. It's called a Scattered Light. These are amazing. If you can find a color that you like, I highly recommend it. It is gorgeous. Alright, we're coming down to the last few products here. I brought my Laura Mercier concealer. This is pretty much the only concealer I use at this point. I do also use my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, but I tend to reach for this one a little bit more often, so I brought this one just because, like I said, I do reach for it the most. Then I brought my Lancome Monsieur Big mascara. This is the only mascara I have at this point, and I absolutely love it. It really does make the lashes look awesome. I also brought a pencil sharpener for my eyeliner. I brought a few different lipsticks, which let me save those for the end. So then I brought this liquid highlighter from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Beauty Wand in the shade Spotlight. I actually didn't even really use this one. I mainly use this one, but I wanted to have this as an option just in case, especially on no makeup days. I feel like this looks a little bit more natural because it is a liquid. Alright, and then for the lip products that I brought, I did bring my Morphe Liquid Lip in the shade Virgin. This is like one of my favorite liquid lipsticks. I use it quite a bit, so like I said, I wanted to bring a staple with me. Then I also brought the Artist Couture Boy Toy lipstick. I wanted to also have like a bullet lipstick option, not just liquid. So this one is a really, really great bullet lipstick. And then I brought one lip liner, and this is the Jaclyn Cosmetics. I actually just got this before my trip, and I had tried it on before I left, and I really do really like this. It is super creamy, and I think it is beautiful. This is the shade Macaroon. And then I also got a Jaclyn Cosmetics liquid lipstick, and this is in the shade Be Brave. I am wearing both of these on my lips today, and I think, to be honest with you, these are like the perfect nude color for me. I think it just fits my skin tone. It fits any makeup look, so these are like my new staples. So that is all of the makeup I actually brought with me, and that is quite a bit. Like, I could have done without some of these items. You know, like I said, there was a couple things I didn't even use, so could I have left them behind? Sure. But it's always good to have a few options with you when you're traveling, especially when you have a bigger bag. Now, if I needed to downsize and bring a smaller bag, then of course I would have to kind of pick and choose what I really wanted to bring. But now that I have actually traveled with this item, I do have some thoughts on it. It does hold a lot, so that's definitely a pro. You know, like I said, all of this fit, and I definitely did have a little bit more room for some other stuff. Oh, and you might be wondering, where's makeup brushes? I actually packed that in a different little, like the Jeffree Star makeup, Jeffree Star and Morphe makeup pouch. I packed those in there. In my What Fits video for this, I did show you how that little makeup pouch with brushes would fit in this with some makeup items, but I wanted to have more actual makeup products in here, and then I just packed the brushes in my carry-on, so it was fine. Like I said though, I could have fit it in here if I eliminated some of the things that I brought with me. A full face of makeup and the brushes did definitely fit in that video though. So anyway, now that I have actually used this, I will say there is one major con that I feel that this bag has, and that is the opening. It really doesn't open that wide. I mean, it looks like it is right now, but when you have it full of stuff, it doesn't really open that big. And for me, I also don't want to stretch the item out too much, so it makes me a little nervous when I'm trying to get into it. I mean, it does open kind of big. Maybe I was just being a little bit nervous, but I feel like when all the items are in, it is harder to kind of find things without taking everything out. It is doable, but I don't know, it's a little annoying to have to deal with that, but overall I do think it's a great piece, and if you are looking for something of this size, then this is definitely a great option. I'm gonna go ahead and pack everything back in to try to show you what I mean about the opening, so just give me 1 second. Like, even as I'm trying to put things back in here, it's a little bit like difficult, especially if you have stuff in here already. It's definitely going to be a little bit trickier to get things in and out of that little zippered pouch. So this is everything in the bag. So like I said, it does just get a little bit difficult when you're trying to like grab for things in there when everything is actually in this, but if you're the type that when you get to where you're going and you unpack all your makeup, then you won't have that issue. But I like to keep things in here just to like free up bathroom counter space, because usually in a hotel you don't have a ton of counter space. So, you know, I do like to keep everything in here, and it also makes it a little bit more convenient when you're packing up to leave. You don't have to pack everything again. So this is everything stuffed back inside. So like I said, overall, I do feel like this is a really great travel bag. It holds a ton, and if you want to fit toiletries in this, then in that video where I packed it, it fits a ton of toiletries, especially when you're considering the travel sizes. When I did that video, I fit so many things in there, things that I probably wouldn't, like, it was just a ton of toiletries. So it does hold a lot, and I really do like it. And I don't think that I will want to sell it or anything. I think I will definitely keep it for a long time and use this as my makeup bag. I pretty much haven't even wanted to unpack this because, like I said, this is like my everyday type of makeup. This is my essentials, but I probably will unpack it just so I can like force myself to use some of my other makeup products and not just stick to this. But But it is nice to know that I could keep like all my everyday stuff in here, and this is really more than what you would need for just one day. You know, multiple palettes, you don't need that for one day. So it definitely holds a ton. So anyway, I won't keep this video too much longer. That is pretty much all I wanted to show you, was everything I brought with me for my vacation. And I wanted to show you, you know, kind of more of like how I actually packed it versus just like what you could pack. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe before you go, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!